it seems like there's been, at least in this tournament, like outside of this tournament, I felt like I was one of the only big Corki mid laners. And then we came in and we were scouting everyone. I'm like, there's so many people that play Corki at this tournament that is like, it's a ban or a pick away at this point.
And it's interesting because it actually hasn't been banned out that much. It's just people do pick it up a little bit, and because it is a very strong mid lane champion. But some people do prefer to have, you know, that crowd control in the mid lane. They want that control power to be in the mid lane champion instead of in the other lanes. So
Well, in this matchup, we have no CC coming out of either of them for the most part.
very low.
Yeah,
compared to
very
last
low.
time. But again,
When I say CC, I'm thinking like stuns, even snares are a little bit weak for me. I'm like, you want someone that's locked down and can't do anything.
like it says, Juwani just barreling in there with the Glacial Prison.
I mean, that was my jungle for the longest time. Sedge, Zac. When I'm playing team games, Sedge, Zac. But now they're out. Like, meta doesn't favor that anymore.
Yeah. Well, we are getting into game, and again, a very quiet start. We actually, in the last set, I think that we saw back yesterday, we actually saw heavy invades from both sides, and both of these times it's been fairly quiet. You know, no one really wanting to mess this up, but
I mean, if there was to be any side that had the better 1v1, I would give it to Unlucky with that Nautilus having an all for CC. If they were grouped as a full 5, Nautilus plus a Katarina that can pick up her dagger for the extra damage, like. That's hands down huge.
And I think that's what they're going to look for each time with Katarina. You know, just go in, lock down one person, blow them up, and get back out. I think that's their game plan. Don't quote me on that.
I was gonna say, it looks like their game plan might be a little bit. They're not nearly as pick heavy this game. They are a lot more just like we are going to be team fighting, which actually works out well for RMU picking up the Maokai, who has the reduced damage for all your teammates that are around you. The problem is he's only going to have Rek'Sai if he's not playing defensive.
Yeah, and player John is trying to force him out. We already saw him do, unfortunately, not so hot last time with Nautilus, but his late game was exceptional. So if he can replicate that with a better early game, I think that will help Unlucky quite a bit.
I mean, he did his job when it came to the game. He just had to make sure that it could last the late game, and he would be relevant enough that he could just stand in front of people, CC them, and...
Yeah, but maybe not that close this time. That was a little
bit
too close
he got a
for
couple
comfort.
of picks on him there.
Yeah, just a few. At least doing better than you in the mid lane, but you know.
Sometimes.
We're gonna have a 1v1 on stream at some point, and it's gonna go badly for both of us,
Where's the
I think.
1v1, bro? Like, that's the meme that's coming up right now.
Yeah. All right. So again, just poking in the bot lane, and this is the thing about Misfortune is it's a high disregard for any utility. You do not play for the utility. You don't play for, you know, safety. You play to poke out the enemy laner, and you just wreck them in damage.
No, we've been between the 245 and 330 mark on most ganks, and that's kind of been the new meta. It's slowed down a little bit more. It's towards the 3 to 345 mark for ganks now, once they reduce the timers on jungle. But
yeah, and again, here we go. Zib just constantly poking out.
Both jungles are just backing away and letting their lanes poke, do their own thing.
Yeah,
farm,
difference
CS.
being Olaf did a full clear, I believe, of his entire jungle. And here we go. Player John getting caught out again. Rek'Sai I think, wanted to go over the wall, but decided against it. That was a good angle to go in, but decided against it. I'm not sure if that was the right call, but definitely gives some breathing room.
I was about to comment that RMU almost overwarded top river. In that case, it actually paid out kind of well. Because they had the Scuttle and then Wars and Death Bush as well as top lane. And I'm like, the Scuttle is almost overused here. Yeah. But it did catch Olaf on Vision, jumping over the Baron Pit.
Now, to mention as well, this bot lane for RMU is destroying Mystic and Ayakura. Looking at the CS differential just right there, that is over 10 CS. Already missed within the first 5 minutes. That's not what you want to see.
As well as you have Misfortune at quarter mana, as well as Jhin at 2/3 mana, versus what does Unlucky have? 2 people at barely a fifth of their mana at this point. That's enough for 1, maybe 2 abilities. Which means they're going to get poked out even more than they
And
already
they just
are.
got to sit under tower and take it, which is unfortunate, but it happens. So
It also means in BoysCon they might be asking for the gank. Like,
yeah,
they might be like, hey, we might need help.
Yeah, you can see Olaf actually moving towards that side, but it is spotted out by RMU. Pommy looking for it, gets it knocked up, but this is a red buff versus blue buff. Henry wanting that, definitely,
Orky,
but Olaf is completely caught out, exhausted down, but Ghost is on. He's going to try and run away, gets away safely.
And
that might be a dragon for them, though.
Nice job by Physics to immediately push that lane. He could. Nice job by Physics to like actually get that lane shoved before Corki can get back. He almost got Corki to where he could miss 1, maybe 2 CS. So.
And it's a good job on them. Good job finding out Henry and making sure to keep him on his toes. He's trying to make these plays right now, and you have to realize all the lanes are pretty much losing, except for mid lane, obviously. Mid lane is even. But watching all the lanes, top lane, Maokai is staying even with Nautilus. That's all you need at this point. Bot lane is going heavily in favor of RMU. Olaf has to start making plays around the map, but he's getting countered. So a great job in RMU's defense to make sure that, you know, he won't get that chance to do anything.
And one thing to note is, I've said that all the time, Corky's corrupting pots are gone at this point.
And while Quantum still has 2 potions up.
Yeah, Quantum's been shoving him hard and poking him hard. So at this point, it's starting to come almost like how Unlucky he is on bot lane, where he has to be on that hind foot and just CS what he can without exposing himself much.
Yeah, so Olaf, again, knocked out of here right now. And, ooh, great damage down on the Nibbler. Kind of has to back away, but Mystic trade. Oh, great lockdown from... Great. They're just hitting all these skill shots that they need right now, and that's kind of crazy to say. Zach and Nibbler have shown exceptional proficiency on these 2 champions. They practice this over and over again, it looks like.
Watching them play, you always wonder, is it still a skill shot or is it just a shot at that point?
Yeah, it's just like, you don't need to think about the skill behind it, it's just automatic.
Hey.
And it's crazy to think about it because most of the time, these kinds of lanes do not fare very well. But because Unlucky is allowing them to get these hits off, allowing them to continuously poke them out, they are getting punished so hard for it.
A lot of it was the early trade that they did bot lane. It put Unlucky on, like I said earlier, on a hind foot. And then they're just punishing him for that. They're like, all right, if you can't make a play.
And here we go. Player John getting hit up once again. This happened last time. Flashes away from the knockup. Gets the ultimate off, but he's going super, super low. Pulls back in. Pommy, I'm not sure if that's what you wanted to do. He does get away just fine. Corky is there, though. He doesn't have package, so he was thinking about going in.
He still has 45 seconds on package.
Yeah. But John, again, they're targeting him constantly. They want to make sure this time that he doesn't have any impact. Absolutely none.
One thing to note, normally I always attribute physics to being the heavy roamer in this case.
And Henry looking for this fight, trying to get Pops Ragnarok. I'm not sure if that's what he wants to do. Gets the red buff and has to run away. Teleport coming in. Oh, here it comes again. Rocket's out with the plant.
Corky has been the one to roam out of mid lane every single time. He's the first one out, which is good for your team, but since there's nothing coming in gold-wise, you're not getting kills or anything. Look at the CS differential now. It's down 14, because he was getting pushed out of lane already from being out of corrupting pots. He did go the Hex Drinker early instead of doing the quick Trinity, which I think is going to work out in his favor in this matchup at least.
Yeah, but he really needs to finish that up a lot quicker. Needs to make sure that he starts getting that lead, because Katarina can get very, very scary if left unattended. They're looking for it. But it's turning really into a quiet, farm fest again. Who'd you say was going to win this one?
I went to Unlucky on this one.
Unlucky? Okay.
They had a good showing last time, and anytime I see a cat, like I said, it's the bane of my existence, so I always want to believe that cat will win, and that's not just me being a bad player like I always am anyway. So.
Well, don't worry, I've lost against enough Katarinas and Corkys to make up for either of that.
True. So
we will go ahead and see who wins now. John doing very well this time to actually stay ahead in the farm. Obviously, this time he's not against a very heavy poke, such as the Swain, but he's going to be able to make it work. But in that bot lane, the differential, again, we're seeing it almost...
We're at 36, 35-ish?
Double the amount of CS for, I want to say, for Varus. Again, this is just a constant back and forth pick, I feel, because Nibbler is doing so well, keeping Varus away from the CS, but it keeps drawing attention, I think, from Olaf. Now, either this is their plan, or it's just, a little bit of a, byproduct, but they're constantly getting pushed in, and this could easily be First Blood. There it is, misses the Chain of Corruption. They have to back away. All damage going down. Here comes Henry coming in the back line. This could easily be First Blood. He doesn't have flash. He's going for the kill. Might get it. No! Heal saves Varus and does pick up the kill. Henry gets it once, and there we go. In the top side, Player John battling Turb. They're trying to fight it out. The tank versus the tank. Tree versus Submarine Diver. Looks like Player John is going to pick it up. Might get the kill. Heals are coming out. Turb barely stays alive and has to run away. Now Knockban almost gonna go down, but First Blood over to Henry.
And the big play right there for Unlucky, not just the kill, they're going to be able to have Dragon Pressure, and Corki just uses package, like on a defensive maneuver. That means there's not going to be a big gank coming bot lane.
And remember, Corki's package is what we're talking about. At 8 minutes, it starts to spawn. Once you pick it up, it's 5 after that. Quantum getting exhausted, going all the way in though, wanting a kill. I don't think he can keep following up though. Here comes Curtain Call going out. Henry getting hit up. He does not have Ragnarok. Quantum is getting hit though. There goes it is. Flash knockup going back all the way in, but here comes Katarina getting all the kills. No, gets dropped. Might get away, does get away. Everything is down, but gets locked up again from the deadly flourish. Has to flash away. Picks up 1. Good return, 1 for 1, but still coming out ahead. And this could easily be a tower for RMU. They again turn it around for the team.
Almost a 45.
Oh, Quantum, you got hit by the deadly flourish once again, and he goes down. Unfortunate timing right there.
I was gonna say Player John has a 45-second TP advantage going to be coming up in the next 2 or 3 minutes, but that's still up for grabs. Who's gonna make the big play out of that?
Yeah, and unfortunately, Quantum goes down. I think that deadly flourish snuck right back there and just made it in. And Player John just trying to stop the backs and make sure that they have to stay on a very low percentage. Tried to get the Maokai, but Maokai said, yeah, you're not going to get too close to me.
He had the poker face. He called the bluff. It was perfectly fine.
But going back to that fight, one of the sloppiest we've ever seen, but unfortunately Bucksack had to flash away from the Chain of Corruption. Knew it was possibly to come out because Zyra is still a threat to be reckoned with. Had to flash away, wasn't expecting Henry to be down there with the Olaf, with the Ragnarok on. They burned everything beforehand and couldn't retaliate at all. He went in for the kill onto Varus, and Varus popped heal at the last second. Actually burned flash and heal, unfortunately. Both of those down now for the next ensuing fight.
My question is, did Bucksack, when he hit physics, was that a blind W?
I think that was a blind W.
Onto the second turret?
I know it had to be blind because that was right when he was in the middle at inner mid tower.
Right?
There's no way he could have seen that.
So props to him for that one.
Yeah, really great shot. He's doing fantastic work right there with the Jhin. 1-1-1 up, almost 30 CS still, and there we go. Ayakura just gets destroyed in that fact. And again, another kill over. Actually, Misfortune picking it up, 2-0.
And they had physics in position ready for that fight, but it was just too quick. Misfortune ult plus Jhin.
Yeah, so the early game going in favor once again of RMU, but a lot closer this time. Not as breakout as before. Breakout meaning...
RMU actually has a front line this time outside of Swain, so I think late game is a lot more up for grabs than it was last time.
Henry getting hit up again. Ragnarok going all the way out. Actually, not Ragnarok, but having to pop the Ghost, and Quantum finding Pommy, doesn't get any damage down, but decides to run. And again, that... Henry's playing a game of fire here, I think. Constantly getting caught out in the wrong area at the wrong time and allowing RMU to continue getting these advantages. Player John in the mid lane. This could be a good fight. They're looking for it. Noctvan getting found out. Almost rooted down. No, Valkyrie's away. Good arrow out. Gets him low. Ragnarok is on. They're going to look for it. Turb taking so much damage. And they're looking for it. There it is. Quantum Physics picks up the kill. Goes under the tower. Almost going to kill him. Does get the double kill. Gets away and survives. Oh, that is so heartbreaking, but that's a Katarina player for you.
Yeah, and that's a physics on Katarina out of anything.
And not even a problem. The Hex Drinker didn't even do anything. Hex Drinker was popped, still burned through all that, made it out just barely. And that's the moment where you say broken champion.
OP, GG.
Yeah, just gone.
That is a 3-1 Katarina, though, and she already has a 14 CS lead. At this point, you're going to have to be sending someone to help mid, or... Corki's gonna have to be playing super safe.
Yep, and
at this point,
to the jungle roams, just tried to go for a dragon and get caught out by Player John.
But Katarina can dive turrets. Like she can get in, she can get out. Quick out damage, or quick damage and out. Like it's gonna be rough. You're gonna have someone sitting very close to Corki.
Yep. Player John clearing out the words. Nautilus too tanky for anyone. Noctvan on that Corki does have the package, which I think that is the coolest package out of all of them. That skin is an awesome skin.
Right, it's still one of my favorites. They did a good counter push here, though. With them going for Dragon, that meant that they were all going to have to go back and reset. And so they were able to counter push mid real quick to get that first turret. And that is first turret, correct? Yes. Yeah. So that's a big advantage. They did not solo the gold out through. So everyone kind of got a share of it, but... it's not going to be as big or impactful.
I don't think they were able to. They needed to knock that down fast and leave right away. They could not afford to overstay with a Quantum already 3-1-0. Hextech Gunblade already finished with Sork Shoes. That's not going to mean anything against a Hex Drinker. The Hex Drinker is not going to do anything, sorry. It's going to be Corki still getting blown up halfway through a fight. or even midway, I should say.
So
Well, same thing.
the big trade there was Unlucky got Ocean, but gave up first turret plus pressure on the map because they gave up that mid turret of all of the turrets. So we'll have to see which one actually pays out for him. With an Olaf and a Nautilus on player John, I think Ocean might have been the better trade.
It definitely is. It also allows them to regen a lot more. Considering team fights, I would say, you know, RMU drafted a lot better. But now you realize it's flip-flop now. Unlucky don't want a full-blown team fight. They want to be able to have a quick burst, run in, get a burst off, and then get away just a little bit. And I feel the Ocean Drake helps them in that situation.
Or if they want a fight, they want a prolonged fight where physics can come in later and start to clean something up after people like Nautilus has been tanking for a while, has dropped someone down to like 3/4 HP, enough that's in death range for the Katarina to go and get the reset and get out, or continue on and kill some more, depending on how many are low.
Something to mention as well, player John has, you know, kind of accumulated a successful lead over Maokai here. Almost 40 CS to his name, above him, and Turb gonna have to fight this out a little bit.
He did the same build as last time, but this is about 5 to 6 minutes ahead of last time.
Yeah,
and that's
definitely
huge as a tank because the others haven't scaled, and they're not at the deficit that they had.
And player John actually stops the teleport coming in from Maokai, but that is a very poor choice, I feel. Lots of damage going down. Player John actually took a lot of those tank shots and has to run away. I think, yep, there it is, the flash forward. Gonna get the kill on a player John, and that was all for just a teleport on the top side. I think that was very much not worth. Yeah, trying to just stop a teleport on the bot side and actually pay for it with his life, even though I don't think the teleport would have made a difference if Maokai had gotten in there.
No, Maokai wouldn't have changed a whole lot there because Unlucky was backing away anyway from the teleport. And it looks like it might have been miscommunication coming across saying that player John didn't communicate that he was able to stop the teleport. Or if Unlucky just didn't want to continue that, then player John didn't need to go that deep. But that does give player John TP advantage for the next 200 seconds. So if they can make a play out of that, then it might still be worth it overall in the long run.
Yep. And here we go again, just they're putting Quantum on his own thing, making sure he continues to have that farm advantage, making sure he stays ahead of the enemy team. The longer he stays ahead, the better chance he has of just continuously blowing people up.
Also note who he's against. Misfortune and Jin. There is no one that has a hard CC in that group, so if he gets a good chance to go in, he can drop both of them.
Yeah, where's Soraka when you need it? That's what I say.
Just silence.
Yeah, just silence field, no. You stay right there. Now that I think about it, I think my favorite pick against Katarina would have to be Galio. Galio, man.
I don't know. I've always been a fan of Cho'Gath. You have the extra health that you might not die immediately, as well as.
And then nomming Katarina's face off when she gets low enough too is pretty good. It's satisfying.
Because she jumps in, and if you can land the silence, then you're golden. Now, if she jumps behind you and you miss the silence, you're gonna have some.
Whoa! Player John just saw a zooming by Rek'Sai, and he's gonna get blown up. This is the damage that he wants to not see. Nogfan just gonna slowly chip away. Actually flashed away. He made it.
Surprising, because Corki has the damage. He hasn't been able to get the Trinity built, which is where one of his big power spike comes from. And Rek'Sai wasn't able to get his full rage up, so he wasn't able to get the true damage.
Yep, here we go. Jin trying to take a pick off. They did clear out the minions, so Henry is taking a lot of that damage, but they just walked right out. Jin is not at that point where he can just continuously one-shot people, obviously. But
that'll be about 30 minutes later.
Yeah, but player John still sticking around that bot side even though he is extremely low. That has to be the scariest thing I think I've ever seen, is a Rek'Sai just flying right under your feet to you. That has to be horrifying if it's like a first-person style game. Just watching that fly right by you and going, what is going to happen now?
The other big scary one we saw last game, quantum physics on Quinn. Like, if you have a fed Quinn and she's zooming off of a teleport like that, that's...
You want to run.
Where do you run? You can't. Like, you move like molasses compared to her. Like,
that used to be my favorite thing when home guard on boots was still a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you missed it back then, but I used to run home guard on Vygar. I'm telling you, it worked in the past. First buy Lucidity Boots and Home Guard. Instant stun, you win.
For everyone that can't see us, I'm just shaking my head at this.
Hey, you have your Corki, I got my Vygar. So far, I'm 1-0 in this scenario of choosing teams. So
I'm rooting against my Corki at this point. I'm just gonna put that out there.
There you go. So going into
We do have a Corki package up as well, so they would be looking to try to force a fight, especially a jungle fight.
Now, something to mention as well, so far, Unlucky have played an extremely consistent game of playing around the package. So if they continue to do this, that's a great, that is a massive extra damage set that is being missed out on. They do pick up the dragon, they are going to chase this down.
Package right here, yeah.
Huge damage from the bullet time, and has to use the package to get away. Again, Unlucky showing dominance in these fights right now.
It was a package for a Zyra ult in the end of it, and I think that would almost be worth it for Unlucky because the cooldown is so much lower and you don't have the Corki potentially coming into your entire team and splitting it up.
And there we go again, Turb making sure John knows you can't really fight me anymore. But they're going to try as well as they can.
Well, they're having a wet noodle battle.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Corki's package because, I mean, even at rank 1, it can do between 100 and 150 damage with a 90% slow, and that's per second damage, so... And it does push them off. It works like a Talia wall.
Zyra getting taken extremely low. Oh, but Chain of Corruption lands on everyone. This is exactly what they want. Buckstack has to run away. Henry is low now as well. Here comes Katarina. Can he get in? No.
Immediate exhausted.
They said we don't want to chain this. No, he gets rooted again. He
Here
might
comes
get
the Rek'Sai knockup.
Yep. Palmy is looking for it, and Quantum knows that he can't continue to ult or else he will get knocked out of it automatically. So great disengage on the side of RMU to only lose one to a chasing Katarina.
They gained one.
They did gain one. I'm very sorry about that.
Olaf, again, Olaf went against Corki, and Corki will win that matchup so easily if he has any farm underneath him.
And this is also not, oh, here we go, Maokai in the backline. They have to try and go for this once again, but Katarina, this is the stack that she wants. They're going all the way to the backline, and she gets the kill onto Jin, and picks up Maokai in there. Triple kill to Quantum Physics.
What did I say earlier?
6-1-0.
Enter it, damage, out of turret. Like, even not in a solo situation, in team fights. If there's no knockup or anything left CC-wise, she's in and she's out.
And that was a fantastic job on the back of a very sloppy end fight to Unlucky. They turn around with Quantum Physics again, and that's something that you can't do. You can't stack up when you know a Katarina's right there.
It was a good fight on Unlucky's part, but more so that was RMU making a mistake engaging.
A massive mistake. They knew their damage was down. They had to all recall, and that's actually what got Jin killed. He was trying to go back, turn around for the fight. Quantum saw that, took the initiative, went into the backline, and killed him off.
Well, before all that, Maokai and Rek'Sai had gone in and fought, and they didn't have any backup from the backline. It was just a very bad miscommunication, and Unlucky punished him for it.
Yeah, very strong punish, I will say as well. So, unfortunately, that does mean they're down a little bit of gold, as well as a 6-1 Katarina. They better have an answer for this Katarina soon, or else this is going to be an issue throughout the entire set.
Doesn't this sound like last game? Physics has almost all the kills on their team.
Yeah.
They play a team comp based around Physics for the most part. They have it where Mystic Decay and Ayakura can actually do something in the bot lane, but they play around Physics most of the time.
And what really surprises me is they prioritize the Varus ultimate over the Ashe ultimate, which is surprising to say the least. Now, obviously, they do want the Chain of Corruption. It's a great ultimate to have.
Right.
But if you're looking for lockdown on a certain target, I'd actually prefer the Crystallized Arrow to that.
The one question I guess would be more, does Mystic Decay play Ashe? And then the other one is maybe they're more confident with the Varus going into like picking the Varus away from RMU versus.
Fair point as well. Here comes a teleport in from Maokai. They're looking for it. They do catch Quantum. He goes extremely low. They knock him up. They kill him. Shut down over to Misfortune. Not exactly who you want, but she's 3-0. It'll be okay. Mystic getting hit. He has to run away, and now he gets blown up as well. That's 2-0 in favor of RMU. They're going to go straight for Baron.
Yeah. Nautilus does have his ultimate up as well as Olaf.
Death Charge could go straight to the back
all
line.
the way at bottom, though.
Yeah, they're looking to trade a Dragon for a Baron. They're going to look to try and stall this. Remember, they're only level 12 and 13. They can still do this. Death Charge goes all the way to the back line. Look at the AoE damage,
yeah, I was gonna say.
Number one, he gets a kill. They're still looking for this. Can they steal the Baron? This is exactly what he wants to try and do. He's trying to fight it. No, it goes over to blue team. Olaf is here now. Here comes the charge. Vroom, vroom, vroom. He goes into the back line, Ragnarok, but I think this fight is over. Unfortunately, Henry, again, caught between a rock and a hard place. He's going to try and fight it out. Jin just kiting around, gets locked up by the tree, and there they go. Lock it down once again. Baron over to RMU, and still ahead in kills.
As far as player John's play there, that was a good play. It slowed down Baron. It went for 1-for-1. If you're taking 1-for-1 off of a Corki, that's still good. Like, you both die, but they lose at least one Baron in the team. But as long as they have one Baron, they can still make power pushes. So that's what really matters. And then the Olaf and Zyra coming in later just kind of was a little extra that they didn't need. let Timmy die, as we always like to call it. Like, Timmy's making a play, let Timmy die.
Yep. And it's something to be said as well. RMU still, you know, after that last game, you'd expect a lot of people. Oh, Chain of Corruption does miss. It looks like they're trying to fight it, but Exhaust goes down. So something to mention as well. RMU still very much has that macro level play.
Corki has a package up, and we have 2 cooldowns: the Exhaust and the Corruption, Chain of Corruption. So with Baron buff, they're looking to try to force a fight on a turret potentially, if not catch in the jungle in rotation, because Corki team fight in a jungle is too good with a package at least.
And it looks like RMU is just going to push with this Baron now. That was an early Baron call as well.
And the key to that really was Physics dying by himself early. If you can get Physics shut down, and looking at the kill distribution, then what do they have? They had 2 kills outside of them.
And it's something to mention as well, you know, these teams are very much stacked now. Whoever gets a couple kills, that's not going to mean as much last time. And again, player John getting absolutely destroyed, gets annihilated, deleted off the map by the Pixels. And that's going to be another tower for RMU. RMU firmly in the driver's seat, which they lost in the last game.
I mean, this was also about the time that they started losing team fights last game, so we'll see if that happens again.
It doesn't look like the Baron with the minion is still pushing. Looks like Turbo trying to tank it, but they did clear out the minions. So Unlucky going to survive with their towers.
Maybe I'm just a jinx. Like, whoever I start voting for is going to win, just goes off.
Derek, you got to leave the room. We're sorry. You're not allowed on the desk anymore.
For the 3rd game, you know, 3rd game. I'll leave it up to fate at that point, not just me jinxing it.
Yeah, but still, again, RMU showing a lot more dominance than last time. This, obviously, with a better team comp, a little bit more well-rounded, as I would say. With the Rek'Sai and the Maokai, you know, standing there to frontline. It's doing great so far. And this is what we kind of expected last time, when you have all your kills on one carry. Once they go down, you are very much stranglehold. You're bottlenecked into what you can do. And so this is what we kind of expected last time to happen. You know, the Queen gets shut down, and then you can't really do anything. But this time the tanks are on the side of RMU. They know that if they go, if Katarina goes down, they're gonna have the tanks to back it up now.
And not just that, outside of the tanks, you have a tank killer in Corki. Like,
yeah. And that was a cheeky steal by Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai actually stole away the Scuttle Crab, but with a missile. Here we go again. They're locking down that that bottom lane pretty well. There we go again. Missed hook. Goes wide. They're looking for it again. Here comes bullet time all the way through. Quantum goes down once again. Henry, you are in the line of fire again. And yep, Bugsack picks it up. Mystic going extremely low. They want to get this kill. Flash forward by Maokai. Unfortunately, Corki flashed, or not Corki. Varus flashed a little bit late, and they're just going to continue this
Corki
push.
did flash as well, too, to make sure that he could stay and follow up the Maokai and not leave him alone.
But that's the problem with Maokai. You got to flash a little bit earlier, make sure he doesn't even get into that range, and unfortunately overstayed. So that's going to be another quick tower succession, and they just blew through this top and bottom.
And this is one of the biggest leads we've seen RMU have gold-wise.
7K, actually.
We had 8.5. They had 8.5 last game, but now it's just climbing.
Yep, 7K on the dot right there. That's going to be an inhibitor down as well. And again, 28 minutes in, busted open field. So great job by them to continue this relentless push. And this is the early game that we saw last time, I have to say.
They have less chance, though, this time of throwing with the Maokai pick, I believe, versus the Squid.
Yeah, well, obviously, a little bit taking your front line, you're not going to have that chance to really be caught out. And I have to say, this time it's a lot stronger contention. Last time they were playing fast and loose, you know, in the first game. And it got them a lot of points. But as soon as that fell apart, it seemed like they reverted and said, we can't play fast and loose anymore, which I think is what they still need to do.
They went very reactive, is the term for that. They became like, all right, we lost the momentum. We need to like find a pick and then getting it back instead of looking actively for those picks.
Because after that first fight, I feel that they still had a fair chance to catch out some of the members of Unlucky. But they decided to hold off on pulling the trigger, and this time they're much firmer with the trigger. Because they have the Maokai, because they have the Rek'Sai, they can say, all right, let's pull the trigger because even if we lose that one, we're still going to be okay. Flash from player John misses, and this just means a curtain call going down, bullet time as well, cutting them all off. Ayakura trying to get away, and the last snipe gets him. Everything is going down. Quantum Physics has to flash away. Here comes the arrow from the backside. Quantum Physics is low. These are just fighting off the tanks, and this is what they want. This is what they can do. Great melting on the side of RMU to take out Nautilus. That's now a 2-for-0 in favor of RMU. They've done fantastic. They have definitely taken this. This is a bottleneck of bottlenecks, if I've ever seen it.
But if there's any team to pull it back, as we saw last time, Unlucky can do it.
Yeah, but this time they don't have a full-blown tank, I feel. Obviously, like I said, Ragnarok on Olaf shreds his extra MR and armor. That just means he's going to be that much squishier. He's going full armor magic resist, so he's going to try and look to be a little bit tankier, but it might be a little bit too late at this point. He did try and shove up mid, got a good way pushing, but they're just going to rotate back around for it.
And the big thing is always make sure someone with CC on RMU has a mind for Cat. Like, they were sitting there waiting for her to come in, because if Physics can get in there after a fight and still be healthy after a fight, it could spell a bad team fight for RMU, because Physics on Katarina, and that's just Katarina, can blow everyone up if left unchecked.
Now, another question to think of, that bot lane hampering, the bot lane CS has actually gone straight back to even, 191 to 191, but Jin has 6 kills and 8 assists to their name, and Misfortune, we haven't even talked about Misfortune, 408, that's insane to think about. And there we go, Chain of Corruption goes down, they're looking for Ayakura, who's caught on the wrong side of the field there, and gets almost blown up. There it is, one more turret shot takes him down. And they're going to look for it once again. Good fight coming out from them. They have burned almost all the ultimates for a support. This does mean that they might get a fight that they want. Unlucky looking for it, trying to get the poke down. I don't think it's going to happen.
I think RMU, both games, early game, pre-30, while they've always been in the lead, a lot of it's also stemmed from their bot lane. There were so many plays made around bot lane last game, and they were in the lead there, where we had like the 3-0-3 Zyra, that with the most kills in the game. And now, again, on Misfortune, she's leading the game and probably close to the top damage dealt, if not like having the most participation. So,
quick clear of the Krugs or the Raptors by Olaf, and they're gonna look for a Baron again. This could be a dangerous Baron, but they know that Zyra is in the base. They know it's a 5-on-4. There goes the package zoning them out off. The players. Player John is melted on the wrong side of the battlefield there. They're gonna look for Henry. Henry is low. He is walking through that slow, 90%. Even with Ghost on, couldn't do anything. They're just gonna back off and recall.
He lost close to a third of his health to just stepping on the package for 1 second.
They're gonna back off. They tried the Baron. Obviously, they got a little bit low, and they don't want to give Quantum a way back into these fights. And I have to say, RMU looked completely different than the last game.
They look back to the pre-30 RMU last game. That's what it feels like, and they're not in a position to drop it this time.
And here we go, Pommy trying to fight a little bit. Quantum
over
the wall, though. This could be bad. There it is. Quantum going in, gets exhausted, still gets a kill, but gets bursted in return. I think GA might have been popped. No, Quantum actually survived somewhere. I don't know where he went. He might have gotten away, but Henry goes down in that favor in a 1-for-1 trade. So Quantum got away, actually. Almost went down, no GA. I wondered where he went, and he got away just safe.
What really hurt was the exhaust coming down on him. It made it where he couldn't get that reset immediately off the kill, and the kill took so long for it.
But the reaction, that was no wards from RMU. Just instant reaction, cats in the back line. And I think Quantum was a little bit slow to start channeling his ultimate, and that might have given them the window that they needed to lock out.
I believe he was trying to get one more dagger in before the ultimate came in.
That might have been the problem, though, I think. And there it goes. Mystic tries to flash away. Hook comes out from player John, but Tommy's going to get locked up, possibly deleted here. Zyra, Stranglethorns goes down as well. The bullet time comes out, deters the fight.
Zyra does not have Leandri's yet, so she's actually lacking in damage, especially against that front line that is RMU's Rek'Sai and Maokai.
There it is, the little recall animation. It's so beautiful. So, but continuous fights is something to really talk about, because it's different than the last time, the last game that we noticed, because this time it's not really just like dance around and try and get picks, you know, back it off and everything. This is full on, we want to brutalize you in the first like 15 seconds of a fight.
They're not even looking for kills. If they can get a chunk without getting chunked themselves, that gives them the pressure that they can go in, remove wards, put their own wards down, and potentially lead into a Baron. So.
And so I have to say this, which is actually kind of funny. it's 3 water drakes all in a row. It's been 3 drakes like that in a complete row, and it's weird because that means that they have to do a continuous fight, or else everyone's just gonna regen back to full health at some point.
Also, the last dragon spawning within seconds of what would have been an Elder Dragon spawn.
Yep. And there it is. The dragon is up, and everyone is gonna get locked down soon.
And as we spoke last time, you have Jin, who has high capability of using Infernal.
And there it is, bullet time going out, Curtain Call with it. They're going to look to try and fight this out again. Curtain Call gets one last shot. Ayukura going very, very low, has to flash away. Doesn't trust Henry to hold it off. Players aren't getting caught again by the Maokai. They're going to look to shred him out. There it goes. Death Charge actually going all the way to the backline. Quantum looking for that fight, but can't find the correct timing. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. All the teams brutalizing and no one dies. Exactly.
RMU is playing a lot more compact. When they started losing the team fights in the first game, is when they were starting to split up in the jungle. And now that you can see it, they're just staying so compact and composed in the fights to make sure that they don't split off.
Here we go. That is a trade of tower for dragon. 3 dragons over to RMU, and Unlucky picking up a couple more towers, but still that puts them on the back foot. And still down towers. Here we go again. Palmy finding the entire team. I'm not sure if that's what you want. Bullet time is up again. They're looking for these fights. Misfortune picks up a kill on Zyra. There goes Jin. Katarina taken out of the fight. Jin getting a double kill. They're flashing all the way in the back line. Knockvan looking for another one. Are they going to get it? One more bullet could do it. There it is. The empowered Dar gets the kill, and they're going to look to finish up the game here. They ping out Turb. Looks like he's going to go bot. No, they decide to try and pressure this top side as 5.
I mean, if they can break the base on another corner, especially the opposite side of the last one, then, I mean, top bot being open in his, if you drop those, that's even bigger.
And the indecision, I feel, from Unlucky cost them that fight. They could have turned it around a little bit, I feel. But again, these fights are going all in favor of RMU, and they have officially taken the game. So, a 1-1 scenario.
Alright, so next game, I'm not picking any winner because I'm 0-2-1, and I almost feel like I'm having a negative